Tastes like liquid vitamins.
Okay, kids, let's go.
Do you have an asshole?
Has been an awakening.
Oh yeah, pull the chat up. My apologies.
Do you have an asshole?
Felt it.
I think.
Sweet.
Hello, what have we here?
These guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking. Found someone you have, I would say.
Slurp the gurk.
with us. Fucking A.
Slurp the gurk. The slurping. Slurping it. The ripping and the tearing.
Ripping in
The slapping and the slide.
Have you ever seen
Yes.
Tremors?
Not in a long time, but yes, I've seen. My dad used to be obsessed with very weird
Yep.
films like this. You can picture that, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, Ace, you got to see this one.
Dude, two great movies in a row, Tremors and fucking Predator. And you're like, all right, I guess we're watching this now.
And then Three Stooges. Yes, I have seen all like the Tremors 1 through 3 at some point in my life. I have seen them.
I don't know if I've ever seen the third one. I remember the second one because they're on like two legs and they're like heat-seeking bodies or something. Was that the third one? Do they have wings in the third one?
Oh, I couldn't recall a single scene.
Oh, I remember.
I've seen them. I know that I've seen them. If you showed it to me, it would probably jog something. But no, I couldn't recall a single scene if you asked me to.
Not
Kevin
even the
Bacon.
first one?
Kevin Bacon, right?
Not even the first one?
I mean, the desert ground worm things.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you need to know.
Graboids.
They escape at the very end, probably.
We called them graboids. No, they make household fucking napalm and pipe bombs and start chucking them into sands and the dunes, and they blow them up to bits.
I see.
And the final kill, so there was approximately like, I don't know, 10 of them. And they kill like 9 of them, and the 10th one, Kevin Bacon's running real fast, because that's how Kevin Bacon does.
He does.
And he stops right there at the cliff, and the fucking graboid goes off the cliff through the ground, and you're like, oh, well,
It's a classic one.
it's a nice move.
I've seen that one before. Oh, I see what you mean. Because it's chasing him, but it's underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
He's not in all 10 of them, is he?
I think he...
Isn't that one of those things where he's like in the first one and then it becomes a sci-fi movie?
Oh, I was just...
Like sci-fi
I
channel
was
movie?
just talking to my dad about this. I think it's his buddy, the older guy, who is the ongoing guy. Because I think you're right. Kevin Bacon's only in the first one.
Brian Bacon.
Kevin Sandwiches.
Kevin Sausage. Let's look it up really quick. I'm just curious about this. I haven't seen it in a while. You know what's tangentially related to that I got interested to watch again is Starship Troopers. It's been
It's a good bad one.
probably a decade since I've seen that. Tremors, dude, with Kevin Bacon.
Was this 92?
1990 is the first one. Wait a second. Go back to my search list history, you bastards.
Oh, it is 90.
There's a new one in 2018.
I didn't realize that.
They,
Kevin Bacon's in it.
Yeah. Well, that's
Holy
the classic.
shit. And Fred Ward. So they got the original crew back.
That's the old dude with the rifle, right?
Oh, is it? I thought it was his buddy. So there is a crazy dude with the rifles and like the machine guns that just lives in a basement.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot.
How many single word Tremors is there? There's an
See all
03
results for Tremors.
one. Oh, it's a
Excuse me.
series in that one.
Tremors. Shrieker Island. Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Tremors
Tremors.
again. Tremors 3. Tremors A Cold Day in Hell. Tremors 5. Tremors 4. Tremors 7. Wow. There's a lot. That's too much.
To be honest, I don't even mind it. It was one of those unique, like, borderline sci-fi, but borderline horror that they kind of just played off in the late 80s, early 90s, and that's fine, whatever.
Well, I feel like that's a Sci-Fi Channel movie, but that was before the Sci-Fi Channel was
Yeah,
around.
that's how it feels.
And then they just kind of picked it up, just like the fucking Sharknado.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
The newer one,
you know?
Cocaine Bear.
It shouldn't. I've heard that's really funny, actually.
Is it?
I've heard.
Let's look it up.
I can't confirm. Look up how funny is it?
Well, let's see what kind of ratings
You
it
can't
gives that.
trust. You can't trust.
Hey, Google, can you tell me how funny Cocaine Bears?
Hey, computer, find funny movies. Oh, I started typing Rotten Tomatoes into the search of IMDb, and that's not what we want. Cocaine Bear. I know it was made by, God, I can't remember her name. Elizabeth Banks. Thank you.
Who was she?
She's in Wet Hot American Summer, and she's
Oh, I know the blonde girl.
Rita
Yeah.
in the new Power Rangers and everything.
How weird! I didn't know she directed.
So it got a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which I don't know if I trust that really.
I mean, it's a goofy concept, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, some of my favorite movies have low ratings. Wait, is that Han Solo?
Yeah,
It's Han Solo. Nice. He was also in Oppenheimer. Did you ever see Oppenheimer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man, it's so good.
No. Did
You
you
have to.
ever watch Chernobyl?
Yes.
That
It was fantastic.
was intense.
Yes.
Was Oppenheimer along the same vibe? Because I feel like they
It
could
wasn't
be.
as depressing until
Dire.
the end.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well-
it's set up more like a movie where Chernobyl, like every episode was like everybody's fucked.
Correct.
Everybody's fucked.
Well, because as you know, I mean, it's definitely set in the U.S., so there's a big part of it that's like we're at the leading edge of science and we're advancing this and we're figuring out groundbreaking things.
Well, and it's during a
and
war.
then they drop the bomb, and then everyone's like, "Oh, wait, what? Fuck, shit. Okay, everything sucks.
Yeah.
What did we do? The world is destroyed now."
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a different like.
There's a
war-
turning point.
It's between like a wartime vibe where Chernobyl's just like a disaster.
Desolation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch that again. But yeah, check out Oppenheimer if you
I
can.
think
I'm sure it'll be out on digital soon.
Chernobyl's only like 6 episodes or something
Correct.
short.
Correct.
I like those quick. It's not even that quick because they are like full hour-long episodes, right?
Yeah. Unlike Ahsoka, which I think should have been 10 episodes, really. If you want to get
Are
into
you
that.
upset about that?
I'm not mad. I just
So
feel...
you needed 2 more filler episodes just to.
No. I feel like they really could have got more.
We didn't need more. They did plenty. In a very good way. There was so much on screen. And they left cliffhangers perfectly
Yeah.
to go into like a movie, which I mean, they set themselves up perfectly.
Or season 2, or both.
I don't think no,
Totally.
no.
Absolutely.
A season 2 maybe after the movie.
No way. I guarantee you the movie about Mando, Ahsoka, Thrawn, etc. Thrawn is going to lose in that movie at the end. Good guys win. So we need some more girthy material before we get into the movie to see Thrawn like
No.
killing people,
No, the movie is Thrawn.
battles, destruction.
I disagree.
Oh.
But there isn't. It's not like scheduled.
Well,
right?
come on, Turkey Sandwich, help me out.
There's not a season 2 scheduled.
I don't think anything's been stated, but the way they ended it, I'm like, okay, that's season 2 for sure.
I don't understand what you're even saying. The
entire
it's
ending
not
was a
leading
cliffhanger.
in. It's not leading into a season 2. It's leading into the movie, which is going to end it.
If
I don't
If
understand.
the movie was coming out in like a year, I would agree with you.
Do you think they're going to just squeeze in another series between now and the release of the movie?
I think it
Or another
would be
season, sorry.
totally stupid if they brought back Thrawn in 3 episodes of a show, and then by the end of a 2-hour movie, he was gone. I mean, he's supposed to be like one of the most imposing villains in Star Wars history. There's no way he's only around for 3 episodes.
Maybe
in a movie.
they
No way.
cryogenically freeze him next to Austin Powers, and he comes back during a race.
Now
series.
we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking, dude.
Yay, capitalism!
Basil, are you mad?
Hello. Those, I know we've said it, but those do hold up. I can't believe that they do, but I will rewatch Austin Powers pretty consistently.
There was a streak of time where I went to Las Vegas, like in a quick succession. And when I was there, I'm like, I got to watch Austin Powers, you know, takes place in Vegas, blah, blah, blah. And then now staying in a hotel is associated with Austin Powers in my brain.
Just
So,
staying
like,
at a hotel?
Yeah. So like I check in, drop my bags, get everything ready. I'm like, all right, Austin Powers, here we go.
All right. Dr. Eve.
Every time, dude. Yes. And it never gets old.
I
I'm not sick of it.
I would argue that that's one almost ever of the very few multi-comedy movie franchises that they doesn't get worse down the line. I feel like I could throw in. I think in my head,
I think
first
it's steady.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's impossible to do with comedy.
Right.
I could put in. I think in my head, it becomes less and less favorite. So the
I
first
would
one-
I would rank them 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I might take that back. 132. The second one is a weird one, which I still really like, but I do love the Foxy Cleopatra.
Heather Graham, though, dude.
No, Foxy.
Yeah?
Yeah, with the cheeks. She's got the cheeks. She's got 2 of them.
Different set of cheeks.
Yeah, she's got a lot of them. Yeah,
I know what you mean, though.
I don't.
They're all enjoyable.
Maybe Ace Ventura, where you and I like the
They only
second
had
one.
2, though.
Yeah, but I would argue the second Ace Ventura is better.
Oh, it totally is.
Now that one doesn't live up. That one I still enjoy, but I cannot watch it more than like once a year.
The second one, for real?
Yeah, it's pretty childish.
Makes me sad.
I don't want to say it's bad, but it's just not as rewatchable. It's very childish where you're like, okay, poopy, haha.
Hello, Ace.
Now that I laughed at it, I need to fucking
Exactly. You just said, this movie sucks. Remember this line? Oh, where is it?
Your balls are showing.
Exactly, dude. It doesn't get old.
Die, Devil Bird! Yeah, I do. I haven't sat and watched that one in a couple years.
Guano.
Guano.
Come on.
What would your like ranking of top 3 Jim Carrey movies be?
Oh, as soon as I rank 3, I'm gonna realize I forgot
Dumb and
about
Dumber.
3 of them.
Dumb and Dumber's
Dumb and Dumber. I
one.
actually just went on a road trip, so I watched Dumb and Dumber before I left because that's definitely a road trip movie. Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura 2,
Ooh, maybe we need to.
and Batman Forever. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're doing it.
Just like, hey Siri, what are the top Jim Carrey movies? She's gonna be confused as fuck. Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, Liar Liar, Bruce Almighty.
Yeah,
Why am I totally blanking on this? The Mask,
Yeah, but the Mask.
Truman
is-
Show, Grinch, Sonic, Me, Myself, and Irene, Cable. Oh, Cable Guy. I would say Cable Guy, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura 2 for me.
I can't believe that the Mask is rated exactly the same as Ace Ventura.
That's the first Ace Ventura.
First off, they came out the same year, which is outrageous.
I think there was Dumb and Dumber's 94 too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
all 3 of them were the same fucking year.
What a savage.
Just overnight, the dude became one of the biggest of all time.
The Mask is one that I will defend, but I haven't seen it in a decade. So as soon as I do watch it, it probably will just totally shrink for me. So I don't want to watch it because that's still in my head as a good one.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to watch.
All right, so what are your
there's-
3? The same as mine?
I'm not a Cable Guy fan.
Correct.
I've never understood that one. So it would have to be, Dumb and Dumber,
Obviously.
Ace Ventura 2.
Mm-hmm. Liar Liar is funny.
I agree. That one's surprisingly funny. I'll just throw the Grinch out there. I really do like the Grinch.
Yeah.
And I think
Grinch is fun.
I
Ron
think it's
Howard.
funny. I think it's funny.
Yeah, that's on my Christmas list.
There's a random scene in The Grinch where he's being all grumpy, obviously, and he's at his house, and he tries to pull. He's like wrecking the house, and he walks up to the table with a bunch of dishes on it, and he pulls the cloth out from under it,
Yeah.
and nothing falls. So he goes over and just pushes the whole fucking table over. I think that was improv. He was supposed to pull it, and everything's supposed to fall off, and it
Oh,
didn't.
and it
so he just
didn't?
went over and just like
Fucked it up.
but they left
anyways.
it in the movie. I'm like, dude, that's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
I like it. Yeah, it can be charming, some of his movies that aren't aggressive. Mask is good.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. Cameron Diaz. You know what the hardest, speaking of hard.
What?
The end of The Mask was difficult for me upon rewatching as an adult. Because the bad guy gets the mask, and when his face morphs into the mask,
yeah.
it's the weirdest.
Demented.
Yeah, demented face. And he's just like smiling but mean, and you're like, what am I even? And then the
It's
dog
like a
gets
huge
it.
mob boss, yeah. Julian or something?
Who's a bad guy named Julian?
That guy in the mask.
Jubilee.
Scared of him.
This is the evil guy. Jubilant.
Does it take place in a specific town? I feel like I
Ooh, that's a
remember
good
there's
question.
so many 90s movies where it's like it's in this weird amalgam of like New York and Chicago and LA, but it's not ever stated where they live. You know what I mean? It's kind of random.
He does kind of live downtown somewhere.
Yeah.
Just I don't know.
I feel like
Because
it's New York.
in The Mask, he's a banker. Stanley Ipkiss, I think, is
Yeah.
the character's name. Yeah, he's a banker, but I don't know if it's like a Bank of Chicago, or maybe we should.
Is he a banker? Or is he trying to get a loan from the bank?
He works
He's a
at the
banker,
bank. Yeah,
and then he breaks in at night and steals it all, and then he goes to the fucking Copacabana
yeah.
parties. Yeah. For a long time, I heard about the Copacabana, and I thought it was based on The Mask.
Was it not? What is it?
No, The Mask is based on that, I think.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's like a famous like Miami jazz club or something.
Clearly, it's not that famous.
Famous enough?
No, The Mask is more famous now. That's what fucking happens.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. I'll accept that.
I'll accept that. That's
I was gonna look something up. I was like, no, okay, I'll deal with it. So how's this beverage that you're drinking?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Vitamins
I figured.
and a fake pop thing.
I feel the weird thing about soda is like I feel like that's what it was meant for originally. Didn't it have some health connotation
Coke?
when it was originally invented because it had
Had
like cocaine,
yeah, cocaine.
and other things in it,
Yeah.
and then now it's just sugar water.
Yeah, it's just sugar.
So maybe they're back. Maybe they're trying to go back to like the 1890s and get it figured out.
Well, and now it's fake sugar, which is even worse. So they're going doubling back to, hey, this has normal cane sugar in it. And you're like, I thought we were over this shit. Oh, now we're going to put cocaine in it.
Cocaine. Some of that cocaine.
Any scary movies or anything that you...
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Here we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Oh.
You know how I am about Halloween, dude.
I watched The Exorcist the other night.
I'm scared to watch that one because it involves a daughter being possessed.
It's a scary one, man.
A little nervous to turn it back on.
That one starts...
I thought about it, though.
It's been, I think, over 2 years.
It's been 84 years.
It's been a while since I've sat and watched that one from the beginning. I think I've caught it like on TV a couple times midway through.
Those 70s movies can be slow.
Yeah, well, that one starts out in the fucking desert. And there's just
Yeah, because he finds that like
Yep.
statue in Egypt.
it's
or
just
whatever.
like that dog with its paw up. And,
Yeah.
and then it's like jerking off with the other hand. And you're like, I'm demented now.
I forget about that subplot.
But that's, yeah, I'm looking for the mother actress in like a
yeah,
little small town, like an English town or whatever.
Right.
And it starts off and you're just in the fucking dunes and you're like, what the fuck? And there's just people you don't understand and you're chipping away at this.
I should love it then if it starts like fucking The Mummy.
He takes some aspirin. That's what I remember.
The priest is worried about his mom. He's going on jogs a lot.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Rocky as a. I've never made. I'm not even lying.
It's Rocky, The Mummy, and a bit of horror.
Yeah. It is. It's all of them.
So it still holds up though. It's great, right?
Yeah, I mean, the outrageousness of it kind of wears off. Like when she's just like barfing, and you're like, all right, like, okay, I get it. But
Right, shock value. Kind
but
of stuff.
like,
The vibe of Satan.
well, it'll be like a dark scene, and she's like walking through the house with none of the lights on because she heard something, and then you'll just hear like, and then a face will just pop up.
Yes.
And it's such a poorly like edited face, but that almost makes it worse nowadays. So you
Yes.
see it, you're like, what does that?
It's burned in my brain, those scenes where it's like black and then the face kind of like zooms in
Yeah.
and zooms back out very
Yeah.
quickly. That's burned in my brain since we first saw it.
I mean, it could easily as dark as like if you saw the Emperor's orangutan face come in and out, you're like, that
Quick
was
enough that you didn't get a good look at it.
right. And you're like, that was
Yeah.
human, but wait, no, it wasn't. But
Right.
what the fuck was that?
Right.
Same creepiness.
Totally.
Same decade. They're like, fuck it.
True. As long as you don't show it for too long on screen, they won't be able to tell.
Well, no, that was 80. We didn't see Emperor's face till 1980, right?
That's true. Close enough. Whatever. They didn't know what they were doing.
They were all fucked.
Everyone was on
They
cocaine.
were drinking cokes.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one in a number of years, but I would like to. Yeah, I watched Scream. Now, keep in mind, some of these are just like kind of like on, but Scream 1 through 3.
You watched Scream 1 through 3?
Yeah, I like the old ones.
I've never seen them.
For real?
Never. None of them.
There's something about the mid to late 90s horror movies where it's like late high school and early college, and it's usually fall.
In the
It just-
movie.
in the movie, yeah,
Yeah.
and it just puts me in a particular state of mind, and I dig it. But if you've never seen Scream, I mean, it's definitely a little cheesy. You should listen to the Revenge of the 90s talk about it and then watch it.
I think I have.
Okay, yeah, because they talk it up. I mean, it was the first one to like make fun of its own genre, you know, because the guy calls and is like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And there's somebody that's like kind of being like, "Oh, in horror movies, like this always happens next, and like the girl always gets stranded, and like the black guy dies first, and like shit like that." So it's like making fun of itself, but it's still like really well done.
Yeah.
So I would recommend those. And I know they brought it back, and there's maybe 4 or 5 now, maybe even 6.
Yeah.
So I want to watch some of those new ones. But ran through those. We had some on for our daughter, just getting in, watching like Casper and Hocus Pocus and shit like that.
Casper is high on my watch
It's on
list.
Netflix now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
grab
saw
it, dude. It's so good. Fun stuff. And then
Casper's a unique one because I always like the actor, the dad.
oh yeah, the president from Independence Day.
Yes.
Bill Pullman. Yeah, he's good. And then Sleepy Hollow and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Independence Day is another one that I've
So good.
always loved. I've always loved the,
Welcome to Earth.
well, of course,
What?
but the like 90s military high tech, like what
Yeah.
they thought, like it kind of bleeds into, it's kind of the same idea as like True Lies, where Arnold is, he's like an undercover guy, but he's of course like leading technology and stuff, but he's just kind of a tough dude. But it's kind of along those same lines. I don't know. Those both live in the same basket for me. I don't know why.
Terminator in that basket at all?
No, it's actually not.
Killer Robot.
That one's not.
Destruction?
That's not realistic enough. It's not rooted in reality. That's like full sci-fi.
Full
to me.
sci-fi. Yeah, I see what you mean. I think there's another one in that vein from that time period that I can't think of.
Of Independence Day.
Yeah. I mean, a lot
Space
of
Jam?
huge. Totally that one. A lot of crazy action movies. And then I keep trying to increase my digital library, but they had a Rob Zombie collection. It was all of his movies for $25.
Dude, what the fuck? I need that.
House, Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell, 31, both Halloweens, Lords of Salem.
I would
It's
have
like
easily
that's
done
like
it.
$2 a movie,
I would have easily done that.
and I'm gonna watch all of them once a year. So this is great value.
Yeah, it is.
So
You didn't like 3 from Hell that much, did you?
no,
Where they go below the border.
but I would watch it again
Yeah.
a couple more times, possibly. Same with 31. It was like, all right, I'll watch it every once in a while.
31's the one with the game. It's like borderline Saw, where everybody gets kind of captured and put in this
Yeah, and there's those 3
survival game.
dressed up in like old English attire, kind of leading the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But, you know, it has some good vibes. The opening scene is just tremendously unsettling.
What is it? How does it open?
It's that creepy actor. He's also in
I know who you're talking about. It's the main guy.
he's
yeah.
like a hitman.
Yeah.
And it opens with he's caught somebody and it's all in black and white and he's like coming to them. They're like hanging by a chain and he's like giving this whole speech before he starts fucking with them. And it's just like that little scene was better than the rest of the movie, in my opinion.
It's almost like Rob Zombie really sets the tones in his movie. I love it. But when
Yes.
I think it's in Devil's Rejects, where Tiny's dragging that naked, like raped dead woman through the leaves, through the
I don't remember that.
woods. You don't remember that? It must not be in.
I gotta
House.
watch it again. I haven't seen it.
I think it's in Devil's, where she's tied up at her ankles and he's dragging her through the woods, through the leaves. She's naked, and you're like, dude, what the fuck? And this is how it opens.
Why are we here?
Oh no, yeah, because that's how it starts. He's dragging her through the woods, and the credits are going on while he drags. I think she's dead at this point, but the credits end, and he looks up, and he's got a mask on, and he lifts the mask up, and he sees the cops going down the main road to the house, and that's when the shootout starts in Devils.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe he doesn't have a mask on, but he like peers up, and he's like, "Oh shit," because
Did
that's
he-
when
did
he
he
goes.
say that?
Well, that's when he goes back because he saves baby.
You're spoiling it for me.
Yeah, that movie's a better movie, but I do like the.
I haven't seen Devil's Rejects in a long time, so I'm excited to kind of comb through that one. But we got, 20-ish more days before Halloween? So I got a lot on the list I got to work through. What?
Close, yeah.
About 3 weeks, baby.
19 days.
So yeah, I got a couple more things I definitely want to see. Definitely Silence of the Lambs. I skipped that one last year. Always watch Dracula.
Have you watched that whole? I think it's a trilogy. Silence.
I've seen them all at some point.
It's
I know
like
there's
that
Red Dragon
and Hannibal.
And I thought there was a fourth.
Maybe
one.
there is. Yeah.
And then there's a show too. They turned it into a show.
I remember
different actor.
The rest of the movies being actually really good.
Oh, dude, I think it's Galen Erso is Hannibal in the show. Let me see really quick. Hannibal.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen. Or maybe he's the detective that's looking for him.
Oh yeah,
I know he's in the show. Yeah. Hannibal Rising.
God, that seeing him just makes me want to watch Casino Royale.
It's fantastic,
Dude. The Bond
exceptional.
movies. But who's your favorite? Is it Daniel Craig your favorite?
It's
Bond?
hard to say because like Pierce is awesome, but only the first two movies were.
God, his
It's
movies
more
were
just nostalgia for me.
His movies were just so bad.
Goldeneye is great. Goldeneye's fantastic. But yeah, the other three are mediocre. The fourth one's awful. And it's more of a nostalgia 90s vibe thing.
He did 5 of them?
4.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I would say Daniel Craig.
Yeah. I completely understand, like, if you have a favorite Bond, and it may not be Daniel Craig, but Daniel Craig's series and the movies and the production, it's just...
Yeah.
It's hard to beat. It really is.
I haven't seen the new one still, actually.
What is it?
Now that
Stargazer, Tragic.
Stargazer 3000. You might die yesterday.
You might have died.
Yeah, the titles are so weird. No Time to Die. And no, I haven't seen that new one
What
yet.
was the one before that? Skyfall?
Spectre.
I never saw Spectre.
And then Skyfall before that, and then Quantum of Solace, and then Casino Royale.
Yeah. I saw Quantum once. I wasn't too impressed, but then I thought I really liked Skyfall. Never saw, the other two. Fuck.
Quantum gets shit on because it was during that original writer's strike. So like half the movie, they lost like a giant chunk of the production team and stuff, and they just kind of like finished it. And it just ended up how it ended. So everyone's like, it's not really fair to judge it, but it also sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear online. That's what they say.
What they say. Casino.
One of the best movies ever.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of those that should sneak into, like, I don't want to say top 5 ever, but easily top 20 movies of all time for me. Like, that's one that I would go back to from the score. Dude, the opening
I know.
music with
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell, dude, takes me immediately back because I don't remember ever watching movies at the theater, but I remember watching that at OU with you. We got there, and I think it was the next day, and you're like, dude, let's go. Because we got there for, like, Halloween. Their big shenanigans down there.
I don't remember that.
And we went there to party, and we had to burn time during the day before the next, like, night started. So you and I went to the theater and watched it.
Huh. I don't remember that.
I swear I'm not making that up, but I remember going down
I
there.
believe you.
Yeah. It was just you and me, because for whatever reason, no one else was.
Everyone was hungover?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Either that or we just hadn't gone to bed yet, and we're like, Taco Bell, now let's go watch Casino Royale. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, you might as well, dude. Taco Bell didn't have breakfast back then, though.
Man, I remember that. This is such a weird memory. I remember drinking all night, going to the downtown at OU, which is Athens, Ohio, middle of nowhere. But Athens itself is such a huge college town. When Halloween happened, I mean, thousands of kids would flock there. And the line at Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, it was the largest Taco Bell I've ever seen.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I have a crazy memory of this. Yes.
So you walk in, and you're still probably 50 people deep and you're like, what the who built this?
I remember that.
But we had waited on the sidewalk for like an hour.
Wow, you just untapped some lost section of my brain.
Yeah.
Just the Taco Bell, and it maybe used to be an old theater or something, and it was like this huge part of the...
Dude, it was like
downtown.
You walk into Taco Bell, and you still got to walk a quarter mile to the fucking desk, and you're like, or the counter, you're like, what the fuck is this?
All right, if you could picture OU in the fall, and you go and watch Scream 2...
Yeah, okay.
That's exactly how it is, except people are getting murdered. And Courtney Cox is in it. But that's the kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So as fondly as you feel about going back to like OU to party, like you would be into the Scream movies. I can tell. Generation X-Wing, dude, what is up, man? Blast from the past.
Oh, what up?
Holy shite.
What's going on? Do you want to talk about Star Wars? Or do you want to wait?
We can't wait, dude.
You want to go into Diet Cola and then we'll finish up with.
Let's talk about pharmaceuticals in the 1890s.
What's your favorite diet?
Diet drink?
Yeah. Well, diet pop.
I actually mostly drink not the diet but the zero ones.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I like Pepsi Max and I like Coke Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad choices.
I would definitely say Dr. Pepper though. Dr. Pepper.
That's an easy.
It's always been my favorite.
Easy. Yeah. It's an easy one.
Yeah, baby. And yours? Same? You
Probably I grew up, my parents drank a lot of Diet Coke. So even though that's one of my least favorite tasting, I think it's one of the more refreshing ones, which is a weird dichotomy there.
That is weird.
I don't love the taste, but like if I'm famished outside and I don't want water and it's like, oh, I'm fucking diving for a Diet Coke.
Definitely. I can see that. I was amazed when they brought those fancy ass Coke machines to the movie theater because you can just match everything you fucking want. Those are the best. I love Coke Zero, and I'm just like, yeah, throw some vanilla and some cherry in that bitch.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, soda talk. They
Soda
got rid
Wars.
of or they rebranded Sierra Mist. Do you see that?
Thank God. Yeah, it's called Starry?
Yeah, Sparkle or something like that.
Sparkle. Yeah, because I ordered DoorDash in Columbus recently, and I ordered one of those. I literally clicked Sierra Mist, and a Starry showed up. I'm like, what kind of bastard? Did they just pick this up off? And then I literally I had to Google it. I'm like, oh, that's the replacement.
Same. I was standing there waiting for my pizza or whatever, and I looked over. I'm like, what the fuck is this Starry thing? Is some weird Gen Z nonsense?
Gen Z.
No, they just rebranded Sierra Mist.
Sunblast. And you're like, all right.
It is funny that they just have the same of each other's things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a good idea. We're just gonna steal that and put a different name on it. Like, do you like Mr. Pibb or Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, same. Coke or Pepsi?
Ugh. Straight up taste, Pepsi.
Same. But in what other scenarios do you take Coke?
I think, well, the difference is Pepsi is more drinkable. Coke is a heavier product. Like, I can only have, like, a can of Coke. I can't have a 20-liter of Coke.
A 20 liter?
Or a 20-ounce.
Diabetes, dude.
Don't you know?
What?
But yeah, I feel like I can finish a Pepsi a lot easier. The Cokes, I do like the taste, but it's so, like, thick to me. I'm just like, eh.
Yes.
But, yeah, Sierra Mist or I guess Starry or Sprite.
I don't really like that kind of
really?
soda very much.
Sprite.
So I don't have a
It's easy. It's Sprite. The answer's
comparison. Sprite cranberry.
Those hyper bubbles. That cranberry one. The holiday cranberry. Oh, I don't even like cranberries, but the Sprite cranberry on a fucking cold day.
I've actually never had one. It became a meme in our house around Christmas because
they come in those like mini cans.
Well, I just started because LeBron was in the commercial, so we just started saying it, and all the older folk didn't know what we were talking about. They thought we were making stuff up.
Cranberry Sprite.
And then somebody showed up with one year, like, oh, I actually got Sprite cranberry, and then no one drank it. It's just a meme. I don't actually want to have any.
It's so weird that they come in those like, oh, this is like 3 ounces of pop, but it's in these little mini cans.
Those little skinny guys?
Yeah. Like, here's a shot of cranberry.
That's probably the portion we should be having of soda.
It's probably the portion you'd use to mix with vodka and actually have a drink.
Exactly, because that is one of the best things is like a good cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper with some whiskey.
Cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
How many acid trips?
All of them, dude. Bring it on. Every dose.
Every dose. Can you double up?
To answer your earlier question, yes, we should talk about Star Wars.
Okay. Laser swords.
I just have to say that I love Ahsoka, the show, so much. I'm happy. I love Star Wars. It didn't go away, but it's back at the same time.
For the first time in a long time, and I'm just going to set Ahsoka aside. I'm going to set Andor aside. I feel like that one lives in a different realm. But when we're talking Star Wars, core of Star Wars, this is the first one in a long time that just straight up has not let me down.
Agreedo.
Which I don't know what that means. Does that mean like it lives up to expectations? What were my expectations? I don't know. My expectations were just fucking surprise me and make me want to watch, and that's what they did. And I still even...
It exceeded your expectations.
It really did.
Is really the word that we're going for.
It really did.
Yeah.
And even though a lot of people were like... Because I watched... Who was it? It wasn't Stupendous. It was...
Star Wars Explained?
Star Wars Explained. He was borderline shitting on it. He was like, oh, it was really good, but, you know, I was disappointed that they didn't answer all these questions and answer all those questions, and they left this hanging. I'm like,
yeah.
That's the whole fucking point. That way, I was so frustrated with his
really?
synopsis, and I was like, dude, that's the whole point of Star Wars. You watch episode 4, there's like stuff left over. You're like, well, what about this, and who's about that, and what about the Emperor? You never said anything, and then they go into the second or episode 5, and you're like, Vader's his dad. Like, who the... And then...
Correct.
Like, that's the whole point of Star Wars. The fact that they ended on... I mean, they answered. They did a lot. Go ahead. I feel like you want to say something.
I was just going to chime in to say I agreed with all of his points, and I still loved the show, and it exceeded my expectations at the same time. I think that is what I've been missing in Star Wars, and I don't know if it's because of like fan culture or like our vibe or whatever, the types of shows they've been putting out. I don't know exactly what it was, but I'm happy being like, God damn it, I wish I had more of Balin in the last episode. But I still love the episode and Balin, and I can't wait to see what they do with him at the same time.
But that's not a bad thing.
Exactly. That's what I've been needing.
He made it sound like that was a negative towards it. I'm like, they just made a character you love so much you want more of.
Well,
that's supposed to be a good thing.
He has a duty to be like, I'm analyzing the show because that's my job, and here's what I think of it.
There is no duty. There is. Just you enjoy it or you don't.
No.
And I felt...
You got to go deeper than that.
No, you don't. And I felt like they stayed true to the theme of what Star Wars was set up, especially in the mid to late thousands, where it was, I would call our heyday.
Yeah.
Where they would just throw shit out there, and they didn't expect you to understand. You didn't even have to.
Right.
Just, it happened, bitch.
Agreed.
And I feel like Ahsoka treated it the same way.
100%.
No, fuck. Balin's here. Ahsoka's here. They're stuck. Everybody else got the fuck away. There's a witch. Oh, she got fucking face tattoos. And now she's got a fucking sword. Well, she's dead. And you're like, dude, I'm just along for the ride.
Tune in next time.
Finally, I'm along for the ride.
Yes.
Because I felt like prior to, they held our hand so fucking hard.
Yes. Like, do you guys know that you're watching Star Wars? This is Star Wars.
They
Look
were
at the Star Wars stuff in Star Wars.
Star Wars at the top of their lungs every 30 seconds.
Except for Andor. But yeah, you put
Except
that to
for
the
Andor.
side. Sorry.
Except for Andor.
No, I think it's totally fine for me to be like, oh, man, like, I didn't really totally buy Sabine's, you know, she grabbed the Force at the end finally. I didn't really totally buy her build towards that, but, you know, it's fine, like, compared to everything else. So I don't know if Alex was just kind of, he's just laying it out.
Yeah, and I might be overstating his
I hate Alex.
upsetness with it, his criticism. But when I was listening to it,
I know what you mean.
He was bringing up negative points more often than saying I liked it. He would just be like, this point I didn't like how they treated Balin, and then the side chick I didn't like, and then this. But it was still a good show. And I'm like, dude.
That's exactly how I feel about it. Like,
that's a terrible way to say it. With you just saying it's one of the greatest Star Wars things that you've seen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't like these couple things, but I still loved the show so much. That's exactly what we want. Episode 1's my favorite, and it's a hot fucking fire mess of nonsense.
No,
dog
it's
shit.
not. It's perfect.
No, it's not.
It's perfect.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So is
There's
Ahsoka.
so much on screen. Every moving part. It's just so dense.
It was good.
But I still love it. I don't care. That's the point.
It's not the point.
It is the point.
It's the point for your
to love
Star
it
Wars.
and be like, why at the same time.
No, I loved it.
Good.
I loved it. I like when they bring content in front of me, create content that I will have questions about. And I feel like a lot of people do not want questions. That's one of my favorite things about Star Wars is the lore and the launching points of all this shit that they put on screen. I don't care. The apprentice chick, the emo chick.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to her? I seriously don't care. But if I did care enough, I could go find out.
Right.
And I'm sure that'll eventually happen.
Right.
But the show called Ahsoka does not need to hold my hand and explain what happened to the
entire
fucking side
backstory
emo
of the
chick.
turtle people and
Get her off the screen.
I got you.
If she's been used enough to tell Ahsoka's story, that's fine.
Right.
And I felt the same way with Balin and all of them.
I'm with you on that, dude. I'm with you on that.
I've seen an odd amount of criticism for this show that is like exactly, well, what we've asked for and what I've heard a lot of other people ask for. Like, don't hold our hand. Just put some cool shit on there. Throw some lore in there.
Yep.
Put some fucking cool fight scenes and blasters. It's not that hard. Make it sound cool and look cool. And that's exactly what they did.
Well, we've talked about this. I mean, Star Wars fans suck. They just suck. Like, hey, give me this. Oh, here it is. What? But that's exactly what I predicted. Why'd you give me that? Or I didn't predict that at all. Why don't you explain it to me? I don't understand everything.
Well, even Shinobi.
People just jump to that too quickly.
But Shinobi's saying the same thing.
What?
And I disagree with it. He said it's only ever truly a problem if they don't intend on answering those questions. But I seriously, like, in the OT, there are still questions out there.
Yeah, there should be enough material where it's like you don't ever have to, but if you wanted to, oh, new Disney Plus series, let's grab Balin and Shin and see what they're doing. So
this is how I'm reading it. I watched the OT and I'm so worried. Where the fuck is Chewbacca from? Why don't we get Chewbacca's backstory? I don't like episode 5 and 6 because they didn't explain where the fuck Chewbacca came from. In my head, that is the most obnoxious thing I've ever heard.
But the fucked up thing is in 1978, that was happening. I guarantee you,
Yeah.
people were getting together to play D&D and complaining about Star Wars and be like, oh, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
We don't understand. Is Darth Vader alive? What's
I
going
know,
on?
I know I'm overshooting it. I
don't think you are. I think it's just like, I just think it's an unfortunate natural side effect of the fandom.
I think this is what Disney has set us up to expect. And the fact that no. I mean, in explaining every single detail within the movie that they created.
Oh, yeah.
That when we got Ahsoka and they didn't hold our hands or answer every single thing that they put on screen, people were like, "Well, what the? I need to know." And I'm like, "No. This is why it feels back like 2005.
Yeah,
because they just threw something out there." And they're going to let our minds wander. And now you and I can sit here for literally months. We could pick apart Ahsoka for months. Where did Balin come from? Is he Darth Krayt? Will he come back? Will he make it back?
Right.
Is he going to be the dark side?
Right. Which is why the summer maybe felt so stale because I couldn't do any of that after Mando. It's like, oh, they did that. It's done. Gideon's dead. That it's done. There's nothing to talk about there.
Yeah.
Until Mando joins Ahsoka and everything in the future, which that will happen, which we can theorize about that as well, and it's never going to end. What I'm saying is that I think this has been going on since Star Wars came out. But
what?
The stuff that you're complaining about with fans.
You got to answer. You got to answer all the questions.
But we never really experienced that until we started the show. Because as much as I was into Star Wars back in the day, I wasn't on forums or anything. I didn't really know about that. So like, if I was talking about KOTOR and Revenge of the Sith, it was just in our little clique with Lord Kerner and other people, and we just all loved it. There was nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
So dense.
I just like when they plant seeds.
Right.
It's that simple.
And then forget about them.
And then forget about them. Or they can sow those seeds 20 years from now and be like, actually.
You didn't fucking think about that, but
somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow he's back, bitch.
Oh, man. We did have 2 predictions come true. Prediction Squad, Podron, Roadcast.
Yeah, we were there.
So I love that. I love when that happens. They almost won, and then Thrawn escaped. That was great. And then
zombie stormtroopers.
Balin stayed, and that's that. So that's 3 then.
Yeah, we literally said.
Oh yeah, because we brought up the zombie stormtroopers, and then I was like, oh, they must not have done that. And then in episode 8, I was sitting there like, oh my god, they're fucking doing it.
Well, you said something about loading up like the corpses.
Yeah.
And then we got back to the stormtroopers, and I was like, I think they're zombies. And you're like, you don't think they're just regular stormtroopers because they're shooting and kind of fumbling around. And I was like, they're for sure zombies.
Right.
They're for sure.
And then they became
witches.
Zombies.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, there they are.
Yeah, dude. There was just things. It's I don't know how to exactly explain this. I was exclaiming audibly as I was watching this, and that hasn't happened in a while. I'm just like, there's no fucking way they're gonna do it. And then the witches cast a spell, and the stormtroopers get up, and I'm like, oh my god, there's zombies. And then the Death Trooper with his mask off, and you can see his fucking jaw hanging there. I was like, I can't believe it, dude. That's what I want. I want to be like...
This feels like expanded universe stuff on screen.
Exactly.
I can't believe they went this far, but it's there if you want it.
Yes.
And it's nice that they could kind of have that, like, brush it under the rug with it's in another galaxy, like.
Not anymore, dude. Witches are back.
Witches.
Sanderson sisters are in the galaxy, dude. They're fucking around. They're probably a little pissed too. Thrawn blew up their
Sanderson
shit,
sisters.
dude.
That's a good movie.
It is.
Ponkus Ponkus. Put a spell on you.
So I was worried. I was worried that we were happy dancing a little bit.
When they were running.
I was a little bit like, okay, great. Thrawn is the most badass of all time, and now here we are happy dancing on wolves.
People were actually. I loved them with the wolves. I loved the wolves. Loved the scenes when Thrawn was trying to get away, which is basically the whole fucking episode. But the ways he tried to stop them, where he's like, "Nope, bombard the fucking whole surface with laser blasts." I'm like, that's exactly what should fucking happen, and it finally is fucking happening.
Yeah, he's got like 7 contingencies.
Because someone competent is making the fucking final decisions, and he's like, "We're getting away," and I'm like 99% sure we're gonna, but just in case, let's fucking fry their ass.
He even comments on that. He's like, I've seen Imperial troopers or commanders waste resources left and right and get beat by a Jedi. I'm not fucking around here.
Yeah.
Blast them. We have to go now.
Yeah.
Come on. But I was worried that we were happy dancing. I was like, great.
They did happy dance a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know the other one that was, I thought it looked kind of funny, but it wasn't something that stuck in my head until I read comments. Was the
That's
zombie.
the worst part. It's like you watch the show and you love it, and then you see people's comments or like a reaction video, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I am supposed to hate that part."
Well, no, it wasn't that I'm
teasing you.
It wasn't reminding me that I
does happen.
disliked it or changed my mind about it, but it made me like defensive about it because I didn't mind it. It was the scene where all three of them were in the catacombs fighting the zombies.
Yeah,
and they were shooting, and they were like side by side. And everyone's like, that's the worst choreography I've ever seen in Star Wars. I'm like...
When they're deflecting everything?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, Ahsoka was a little stiff, but the worst choreography in Star Wars? Have you watched any Star Wars? Luke is straight up...
Have you watched Return of the Jedi,
Dude,
brother?
Luke goes straight Babe Ruth every scene. He swings as hard as he fucking can. And he's
batting 1,000.
Dude, it's so... But I watched it, and I was like... Even before I read the comments, I was like, yeah, it doesn't look the best, but this is fun. There's fucking zombies, and they're backed into a corner. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
Of course, the Sabine force push, little bit of a stretch.
Total Disney cringe on that part.
But I didn't even cringe. I'm like, it's going to happen. Just let it happen.
I guess it's a carryover because they did that like 1,000 times in Rebels, like in the cartoon.
Okay.
Like Kanan and Ezra were fucking chucking each other everywhere.
I mean, it's a good plan. And whatever.
Good job.
You know what the funny thing is? You can't even fault Sabine. If we're going to lean on it, it's the Force's fault.
What? That it can do so many things?
Well, no, just like she's just accessing a power.
Right.
And it's up to the Force. The Force is actually making decisions. It's what, there's like no good or bad. The Force is just there, and things happen.
You think the Force decided to throw Ezra onto the bridge?
I'm just saying the Force allowed her to do it.
Well, she tapped into the Force and did it herself.
Yeah, but the Force had to be there.
The Force is everywhere.
It
surrounds all living things.
Exactly.
Binds galaxy together.
Yep. So she focused in on the fucking turtle farts, and she's like, all right, one last gust. Oh, there they are. Hot wind.
They really had to come together on that one.
George Lucas, Shinobi said, George Lucas said anyone can use the Force.
Correct. They're really, since they talked about Finn in episode 9, they're really going hard on that, which I'm cool with that. I like it.
I agree. I think it's fun that like it's kind of that. Look, I have a very sports mind. In my head, it's like anyone can play baseball. Anyone can go out there and try to swing a bat and play the game.
Right.
Not everyone's fucking, Babe Ruth or whatever.
Correct.
So it's kind of that everybody can play. Everybody can use the Force. Can you lift anything, or do you even know what the fuck you're doing? Maybe
Right.
not.
Or subconscious, like maybe Han Solo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm for it, dude.
I like it.
Yeah, best choice Sabine made was
Staying.
That was like a very nice. I didn't get a lot of her training, which I think that's kind of what Alex said. I could have used more of that. But just her decision making in the heat of battle to stay with Ahsoka, perfect. What?
You wanted to see Sabine train more? That's really what you wanted to see on screen?
No, I didn't mean like a
I swear to
session
God,
where
if I
she's
got-
sitting there with a fucking training probe.
If I got any more of that, I was going to throw my Xbox out the window. You really wanted to see, it didn't make sense because she did the Force Bowl, but she didn't do that extra half-hour training that we needed to see.
I would have, yeah, not her sitting there with the Luke training probe. I'm just talking about moments where Ahsoka can drop some knowledge and she can learn from it.
I like the fact that in a stressful situation,
She figured it out.
she figured it out, and I feel like that's the name of the game for any Jedi. You do or don't.
I like it.
You lean into it or you don't. And she leaned into it, helped Ezra, and then went back and leaned into it further by helping her master
I'm
not
just saying
die.
it could have
like
felt more impactful from
Yeah.
a certain point of view. I'm with it though. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Overall, this is an A.
Exceptional. It's an A plus.
Yeah. Do you like it? And I know they're very, very different vibes. Would you put it over Andor?
I don't like pitting the two against each other.
But I'm making you choose one. Which one do you enjoy more? Because I know they're very different vibes. I'm not better, but which one do you enjoy more? I know what I want to say, but I'm gonna say the other one. I'll answer.
Ahsoka's more fun.
I want to say Andor because I feel like it was groundbreaking and just a shift.
Yeah.
And so fresh and so new and so real and so authentic. But I enjoy watching Ahsoka more. It's that mystical aspect that Andor doesn't bring.
Yeah.
And while I like the realistic human aspect of Andor and I really, really connect with that, Star Wars is still mystical magic and all this shit. So we get a lot of that.
Well, here's what I'm hoping as we move forward. I love the fact that they're so different, and I hope that Andor wasn't like a one-time spin-off crazy side project. I know they're making a season 2, but like I hope there are more shows in the future that are a totally different vibe and that all these things can live together.
That is a weird one because I think Andor was originally allotted for like 5 seasons. And very quickly into the production of the first season, I think they cut it back to 3.
And now to 2.
Is it only 2?
I think so, yeah. Shinobi will know for sure.
I'm fine with 2. I could watch that first season.
I know.
See, the nice thing of what Disney did is they did give us those 2 different veins.
Yes.
Where I could be in a non-Star Wars mood and watch Andor. And I feel like it's just like Shinobi said right there. It's a spy thriller, just in Star Wars.
Correct.
So I could be like not in a Star Wars mood, but still watch a Star Wars show and still
If you're
love
on
it.
like a Mission Impossible vibe. Yeah, definitely. Shinobi also said Ahsoka gets back to traditional Star Wars storytelling.
Yes.
I think the reason it stands out so much is that the original Star Wars movies were rooted so heavily in myth and legend, like real world myth and legend.
Yeah.
That got translated into this space fantasy world. And this really does that. There's King Arthur shit, there's Lord of the Rings style shit in there. Like it really touches everything, and we haven't had that. We really haven't had that since like episode 3.
You know what the other thing that Ahsoka, the show, does, and I don't think it's ever done in all of Star Wars, is really show us a mirroring of Master and Apprentice.
Yes, that
you
was well
see
done.
Balin and I keep forgetting emo. Shitty character.
Annoying.
But yeah, so we see the dark side aspects of like Master Apprentice, and then of course we see
I wouldn't say
Ahsoka.
I still wouldn't say dark side.
Well, whatever. It's still a difference between the two, and it's almost like you also see the similarities. like both masters are clearly frustrated with their apprentices for different reasons, and they kind of handle it differently. And it kind of comes to a point where at the end, Balin's apprentice isn't there. I don't care if he sent her away. You could have found a way. Listen to him more, accept his teachings, stop crying. But Sabine does what she's expected to do as an apprentice. Stick by.
Yeah.
And I do like the when Ahsoka tells Sabine, "Look, I'm here. I'm by your side. I've got your back from here on out." And we never really hear it back, but we obviously it's shown in action because she goes back. So I like it, man. It's really nice.
There's layers there too. I mean, you got Ahsoka and Sabine, but you also have Anakin and Ahsoka.
Oh yeah,
Balin and Shin.
It's straight up
Ezra's
Shrek.
in there.
Straight up Shrek.
You
Onions.
could almost say like Thrawn and Morgan to a certain degree. Like there's
how did you like how
onions.
how the whole Morgan stuff went down,
dude? Her fight
Dude.
scene, was incredible,
dude.
Her fight scene was awesome. As soon as they ignited that goddamn blade, I was like, okay, here we go.
That whole ritual, I was rock hard.
Totally.
I was like, I've never seen anything like this in all of Star Wars.
Carbonite hard.
This is something that I wanted to see in the Sith.
Yeah.
Some crazy ritual. But the bad thing about the Sith is you never pass everything down. You never you almost never reward your apprentice.
Correct.
You just make them fight until they're stronger than you, and it kind of sucks.
And now they're like, you've passed the test. Now you're part of the clan. Here's your scars.
The only way to pass the test in the Sith is to kill your master, and it's like, that's brutal. And it's I deal in absolutes, but
it felt to me like maybe not as dramatic, but in what the fuck is the fourth Harry Potter called?
Goblet.
Yes, in the Goblet Triwizard Tournament of Goblets.
I can't believe I pulled that out of my ass.
Thank you. I almost called it the Triwizard. I mean, that's the name of the thing, but whatever. When he shows, all of a sudden, you're in this thing in Cedric Diggory, and there's a Sphinx and a hedge maze, and we're in Harry Potter land. Everything's fun. Teleportation, cauldron, demon is birthed from bones.
Oh, at the end.
And Voldemort pops up for the first time. And you're like, oh, my God. We've crossed a line here. That's how the witches and the ceremony and everything felt.
Well, that's the fourth one. That's the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
Well, the beginning of that movie is dark. We've happy danced through the first three. I know 3 gets a little dark, but
it's
the
always just
Triwizard,
Voldemort. Don't talk about him. He's over there.
The Triwizard, that chick dies.
Yeah.
Or is there a guy that dies?
Cedric.
Cedric dies. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Batman.
it starts
Batman
off, and you're like, "Fuck, man! I thought this was a happy show," and then it ends that way, and you're like,
"Yeah,
he's real. Is he real?
Dude. He is real, Bam. He's there. He's finally back." So, anyways, that's what it felt. It's like the witches are standing there, and they have those little probe orb things that are doing things, but we don't have any green flame until that last episode, and they finally busted out. And then within quick succession, they're like zombies, ritual. Morgan gets her sword, all within a very short span of time. I was just giddy, dude. Screaming.
It's, I think, the only time in all of Star Wars that I gasp.
Yeah. I was
audibly because of a item. I saw that sword and I was like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck that's the coolest thing. And it was so out of a video game.
Yeah.
Just like a burning flame green sword, and you're like, dude, I want that in Skyrim today.
Yes.
That thing does fucking flame damage.
Where's the Ahsoka DLC for Skyrim?
There is one.
Yeah?
No.
Someone's probably made it. Someone's modded it
tonight.
Already. Yeah. Yeah, that was great. And you said earlier that it felt like expanded universe stuff.
The whole show.
I think that's the vibe that we were getting back in, 03, 05, 08 or whatever. It was just anything is possible. It doesn't matter. There's no restrictions. I don't know what took so long. Maybe 2015 until now, we just had to, they just had to go through the motions. Maybe Disney just had to figure it out.
It was a weird...
let's try this. Let's try doing a carbon copy of the original. Okay, well, let's try this. Let's try something brand new. Let's try Solo. And then finally, Filoni's gotten enough live action experience that he's just like, here, just do anything that you could possibly think of in that brain of yours. Just do it.
The ignorant in my own head wants to be like, you've had this potential the whole fucking time.
Maybe.
Not maybe. Filoni made Ahsoka. They've made some heavy shit. You had these EU books you could lean on. I'm not saying carbon copy, but the templates are there. The storytelling's there. Drew was fucking for hire. Like you. Let's not pretend.
I would love if Drew was involved.
Listen,
yes.
You don't have to bring Drew in to make it good, but he does know how to fucking write a story, and he's done it over and over, and been successful in multi-universes.
Yeah.
He created like the Mass Effect shits.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, this guy has one hell of a
track record.
Yeah. Let's lean on that, or at least dissect some of the stories that we love and pull pieces from it. They did it on such a minute level, and they just did more of a carbon copy for the first, at least definitely the first movie, but even Solo. I love Solo, but it wasn't breaking new ground. It was just like, we're seeing a character that we all love.
I thought it
kind of come to his own.
It kind of was in the same way Andor did. It's like we had like a crime heist movie in Star Wars for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah.
And no Jedi, no Sith, no mystical shit.
Well,
it's
Darth Maul's in it.
Well, yeah, he shows up on a hologram. Do you guys remember Darth Maul? He has horns?
If we ever see Darth Maul on screen again, I'm not going to be happy. Even though I'll gasp.
I'm selling all my Disney stock.
Even though I'll gasp, I'll be like, seriously?
Do something different, please.
Do anybody else. Savage.
No, please. No. I hate that character even exists.
It's funny that you hated him. Like, I get your hate for him, but I didn't. Like, especially leaving him in a cartoon. I'm like, fucking fine. Live,
as long
live
as he
there.
stays there.
Stay!
It's not enough that Maul's back. Now he has an evil brother. Zombie Night Sister Savage. He's bigger horns, bigger muscles.
Let me tell you
Two
something.
lightsabers.
Let me tell you something.
What?
I rewatched the Vader Obi-Wan battle in the Obi-Wan show on that rock planet.
Yeah. What?
It's good, man. It's fucking good.
Even the Dragon Ball Z part?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. When he lifts up those rocks, I'm like, that's easy work. That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. If Vader can do it, Obi-Wan can do it, but better. Because Obi-Wan still has legs and arms. I don't care.
What do you think about, isn't there like a tastefulness aspect to it to you?
It was, look,
like
it was.
I almost prefer in the third episode, I think it's the third episode, when that thing spills and he sets the ground on fire and he's like just fucking with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like that's more interesting to me than like the big old superhero fight.
But it wasn't a superhero part of the fight that I love about it. That was definitely the more borderline annoying, but I was way okay with it because of everything else that happened.
Okay. Maybe I need to rewatch it.
The banter back and forth. Of course, the big reveal with the half face and Anakin, I'm sorry. Anakin was not your failure. You weren't the one to kill him. I was.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
Yeah, that was heavy.
And then my friend's truly dead. Dude, Obi-Wan whoops his ass. Like, Obi-Wan gets beat up, but Obi-Wan at the end whoops his ass. And it's the switch that's flipped. When Obi-Wan's getting crushed by all those rocks, he has these memories or visions of Luke and Leia, and immediately his attitude changed, and he gets stronger. And then the superhero stuff starts happening, and you're like, look, I get it, and I'm all for it, because he's finally clear. He can finally access his full power,
right?
Because he's not fucking worried about the machine that's in front of him, which he finally, 2 minutes later, finds out that it is just a dude. Right. And one of the other nice, tasteful things.
Same with Ahsoka.
You didn't kill him. I did. Well, then my friend's truly dead. Goodbye, Darth. He calls him Darth.
Okay. Like the old school.
Yeah, like old school episode 4. Like, he doesn't even want... You're not Anakin. Like, Vader's a nobody to me.
Right.
You're just a fucking Darth. Bye, bitch.
Yeah, one of many.
You're just... he should have killed him, obviously. But he fucked him up. Like, it was a good battle. Vader was winning at the beginning, crushed him with a bunch of rocks. I see Leia and Luke. Let's fucking end this now.
Yeah.
Now I got...
It's crazy to think that happened before episode 4.
Yeah, and like Shinobi's saying, it gives Obi-Wan the closure he needs to move on. Which, yeah,
same thing happened to Ahsoka, man. When she died and had the vision with Anakin, like she had to face. She thought her master was turned into this crazy monster, and he did to a certain extent. But she had to really come to terms with that before she could do anything worthwhile. I'm all about it, dude.
I think it's worth rewatching.
Every character has that. Luke has to fucking face his dad. He sees his helmet in the tree and shit.
Just get over the rocks, and you're fine.
Face your demons.
Does the rock stuff in like episode 8
love the rock.
Still bother
Dwayne
you?
Johnson.
In when Rey picks up the rocks?
No, she just picked him up.
Is that weird?
No.
That one bothers me more.
She just picked them up.
That one bothers me more than the superhero rock fight in Obi-Wan.
There's not that many rocks. I mean, she
actually picks up the exact same amount of rocks as
You counted
Obi-Wan.
them?
There's 33.
Damn it. All right. If it was 31 or something, I could have been okay with it. I haven't seen episode 8 in a while, but no, I don't think I disliked that at all.
Yeah, you're just moving rocks. They all... Yeah.
It was a nice little lesson.
Whatever. She had to save her friends. She did. Day is done.
I mean, as long as their friends are saved, like what the method doesn't really matter, right?
You know, I've never really realized the symbology of Rey leaving her master to go save her friends. Have we talked about that? Because Luke,
sure we did.
Luke
once
does the
episode 8
exact
came
same.
out. Yeah, exactly. She's falling in her footsteps.
We've probably talked about it, but I just
That's part of the trial.
don't listen to your master.
Ahsoka kicked Sabine to the curb at one point.
Yeah.
And she had to come back. That's why I was trying to get into a vein of like Balin sent Shin away on purpose.
Yeah.
Expecting her to do something worthwhile and then come back. But she didn't. She got scared.
She got scared.
And now what do you think she's doing? She's like getting these mercenaries. She's like, let's just go start murdering people, dude. I'm pissed.
She's fishing. She's hanging with the
I'm gonna
zombies.
listen to My Chemical Romance and fucking take some goddamn bounties. That's what I hope happens in Ahsoka season 2.
I hope we never see her again.
I could go either way.
I hope they do a comic book series.
Yeah, I could go either way about it. I
Are you excited for Thrawn?
am, yes. Yeah, that was one of our predictions, man. He made it.
So did Ezra.
I thought that was awesome, though. Ahsoka and Sabine came, did their thing. They got stuck. Ezra got sent back with Thrawn. So, like, it's a big victory for Thrawn, but there's still just a glimmer of hope, a new hope for the good guys. He has enough to warn them about it.
Now that I think about it, there might have been just a slightly better, or at least more interesting way that Sabine could have, instead of force pushing, she has a jetpack.
I was wondering the whole episode where the fuck her jetpack was.
And it would have been nice to see her save her Jedi friend
With the Mandalorian tactic.
Shinobi's
going to say her jetpack was actually destroyed in Rebels season 4, episode 9.
But
that whole episode, I was like, where's her jetpack, dude?
it would have been nice. It would have been nice. It's just that balance of, you don't all have to be fucking Jedi to be the hero. Like, you can be a Mando and use and be smart with your shit. The same way Thrawn. It would have been a nice mirroring. Thrawn isn't a Sith, but he's one of the most evil dudes that's just going to destroy or control the galaxy, create a war, whatever. Sabine could have been the hero of the day, but not use a single force power. I don't know. It would have been a nice little sprinkle. I would have liked it just a tad more.
Agree. I was expecting a little bit more Mando stuff. I want more. All of Thrawn's backstory is hidden. If you're watching Ahsoka and you've never read any expanded universe anything, you're probably a little confused, I would say, don't you think? Like, obviously, you can tell that he's imposing. I would just...
Like who Thrawn is, you're saying, overall?
Correct. Yeah, like, I want some motivation and some backstory. I'm like... Because I know the gist of Heir to the Empire, but I'm also like, well, if everyone's dead except for, like, you and a couple other generals, like, why do you care so much? Why don't you just party on this planet, dude? Bang the witches.
There must have been something... I wonder
I'm sure it's in the book. I just want it not in the book.
Well, I guess my question would be, is part of Palpatine's contingency include Thrawn?
That is my biggest expectation, is that Thrawn and the First Order become intertwined at some point before Episode 7. I want that to happen.
This may be a dumb question, but...
It is pretty
Well, at least a dumb idea.
It is.
What if Thrawn like dies at the Battle of like Jakku?
That'd be awesome.
Is that possible? Have we seen the Battle of Jakku in like some show or something that?
I think at this point in the timeline, it already happened. Because the New Republic is in power and they have a government. So I think it's firmly like Empire's gone.
By the time Jakku happens.
No, after Jakku. So where we're at in the Ahsoka timeline, Battle of Jakku's already taken place.
No.
Yeah.
No, the sequels haven't happened yet. This is between episode 6 and 7.
Yeah, Battle of Jakku is like 3 or 4 years after
oh, really?
Return of the Jedi.
That soon after. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they think any Imperial remnant is, and they do Battle of Jakku. They think they've won. That's at the very end of Battlefront 2, the campaign.
Yeah.
Right, Versio like rescues your dad or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the Imperial remnant, that's why no one believes the Imperial remnant's happening in Thrawn's back. Everyone's like, Empire's gone. We took care of it. It's all good.
We just fought the war. We
Don't
won.
talk about Voldemort in this galaxy. So
I like it.
Yeah. Hey, Shinobi, maybe you joined after we were arguing at the very beginning, but do you think that there's going to be another season or at least another couple shows before the movie happens? Because I feel like we need more of Thrawn before the film.
Commander wants a season 2 of Ahsoka before the film.
Definitely. And a season 4 of Mando and maybe something else too.
I assume we're going from season 1 of Ahsoka to the movie.
I feel like they would have. I think we would have news about that by now.
I wonder if there's another show, like, Acolyte?
Yeah,
Acolyte's,
where the fuck is Acolyte?
Acolyte's
Where's the
supposed to-
footage?
Where is the footage?
Where's the footage from Celebration?
Acolyte's supposed to be prior to episode 1, right?
It's like High Republic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to bring that up earlier. So, like, we have Andor, which is like crime spy thriller. We have Ahsoka, which is like total Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then Acolyte, I feel like definitely could be like a martial arts style movie. We could have all three of those vibes going on in Star Wars at the same time.
Yeah.
I love it. And then give me something like X-rated, The Juggernaut.
Jeez.
All
so he's saying you're right. There's going to be one more season of Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew,
that's
then
right.
Acolyte, then the Ahsoka movie or the Thrawn movie.
There won't be another season of Mando. I guess that makes sense. They did kind of cap it off with Gideon dying. Although I will be sad to not see much more of Din Djarin.
I mean,
And Baby Yoda.
from the way they left it, it's like, oh, the Mandos are saved. Like, that is the... Like, I don't want to see them
He
just...
looked straight retired on that
on
that last scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was sipping
On
Mai Tais and shit.
Navarro.
Yeah. He was chilling. All right. Well, I guess that makes sense.
I'm, of course, excited for another season of Ahsoka. I just thought the whole time the plan was doing the season, doing the movie.
I was just imagining that a movie has to be at least 3 years away.
That sucks.
At least
when we look,
at least 2.
it's already been.
I'm saying they just
4?
announced it. They just announced it in May.
It'll
so
be
like
4 years this December since the last fucking movie, and you're saying it's going to be another 3?
at least 2.
Dude,
I would guess
sucks.
holiday 25 will have the Ahsoka movie.
I think that was the original plan.
No, I think the original plan was 23.
No, it was 25.
What's 23? It's 23 and a half.
The new original
24.
plan.
26 and a half.
The revitalized.
27. 31.
Somehow
69.
Disney failed to make a plan.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
I don't know. If anyone knows dates and news, tell us because
No one does.
We don't know the news. I don't
No
care.
one does.
I don't care that much. I like to just make up the news, and then usually Disney will announce a couple days later exactly what we said, and then we're okay. That's
So
usually what
we
happens.
should just start coming up with stuff
Ahsoka is coming out
next year.
December of 2024.
Yeah, it's true.
They're going to surprise us all. A trailer is going to come out in a month out of nowhere. I don't know. Let's see. All right, Kathy, come on. Do your thing.
See, 2025
Let them know.
for the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
It's a long time. That's 6 years between movies for Star Wars by Disney,
As long-
who can do a fucking movie and a show every 30 seconds for Marvel.
That is true.
That is gotta be the most frustrating thing.
I
don't
bet
even-
you if Ahsoka had come out 3 years ago, their whole plan would be different. And Bob Iger saying, we were too ambitious, we got to step it back. He would never have said that if Ahsoka came out then. But they were like, nah, they're not putting out.
He
hot
said
fire.
He said they got to take a step back this year. It's been 3 years since you put out a fucking movie. What do you mean take a step back?
Wait, he said that again?
Yeah, he said it this year when they brought him back on.
Oh, you bitch ass dude, do more. Kylo, haven't you heard Kylo Ren? More. Do more things. I want to see more of it.
I do need more Kylo.
I'm okay. Like, you're only going to get 80% hit accuracy anyways. Like, you're not at 80% now.
I mean,
but if you were doing great, you're still only going to get to 80%. So put out fucking a movie a year. That way I can at least enjoy something.
Look, they're batting really, really well this year. Andor, Obi, Ahsoka, they're doing very, very well this year. It's hard to complain. I mean, and they've even had other stuff. Mando season 3.
Holy shit, I'm in the time vortex. Kenobi came out this year?
Yeah, it wasn't it. It was spring this year.
And Andor came out this year?
Andor it bled, I think, over from December into January.
I've been tripping.
It's within the past year. Maybe not year to date, but the past year.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We've got a lot of that stuff. Bad Batch season 2.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. Shit.
I haven't either.
Let's go.
And then, Mando season 3.
All right.
There's been a lot of good stuff. I'm excited for Acolyte for obvious reasons, but
I can't wait.
The style, the attire, the ships, the fucking everything,
Prequel
vehicles, all prior to prequel. I mean, we could see some fantastic, cool shit. We just need some wacky dudes behind the wheel.
The only thing tying us is Yoda. It's like the only thing that we have that's going to tie us to.
He's just going to be still wearing, he's going to have 3 more hairs on his head because it's 100 years earlier.
3 less hairs.
3 more hairs. He has more hairs when he's...
Yeah, sorry. No, his species goes the other way, dude.
Oh, he's like Benjamin.
The older you get, the hairier you get. That is actually a thing.
Yeah.
You got hair sticking out of your ears yet?
I got them all. Got them all hairs.
That was a surprise.
I pinch them. And I get them. It hurts.
What?
Ahsoka was good, and you should do more things that are like that. That's what I say. Dave, I'm talking to you.
I'm very happy.
Favreau, I'm talking to you.
Very
Kathy,
happy.
I'm talking to you.
Very happy with it, man. I wish they could just do the same thing with a goddamn Star Wars video game.
True. I haven't played Survivor yet.
Me neither.
I heard it's good. I heard the remastering Empire at War. Or did I make that up?
Would you go back and play Battlefront 2?
I actually thought about it. I was watching, you know how sometimes YouTubers will just put random footage while they're talking instead of the actual thing they're talking about. One of the reviews I watched, they had Battlefront 2 footage going on in the background. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play.
I can't believe they didn't keep that going. With all the new characters and all the cool shit they could have just thrown in there. Skins, Ahsoka, white robes. You could play as Sabine. You could play as a fucking Mando. You could play as all these fuckers.
Yeah, we talked about that for like 2 years. They didn't have a choice. EA just says, the budget's gone. Move over here. Do Battlefield. Ruin that one. And then move on to something else. Travesty, dude.
But Squadrons is going to take over everything.
Yeah, that one. Good thing it was only $30 because that one died quick. I mean, maybe people still like it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was not a good one for me.
I'm just not good at flight simulators.
I like the difficulty of it, but it was like,
I think
this is the opposite of smooth, man. This is
Shinobi just said the PC mods are awesome. I think there is a excuse me, I got so excited I couldn't talk or breathe. There's a good community on the PC world for Battlefront 2, I think, because you can mod it. Be like, oh, look, it's fucking Din Djarin in Battlefront.
I've got a random thing that we can end with, non-Star Wars related. So of course,
a horse.
I started Skyrim again.
Yeah.
I got into this new cave. Never could have imagined what the fuck I'm seeing on screen.
Is it one of the Dwarven caves?
It is. So do you know the kind of down by Falkreath? There's a Forsworn thing that goes up a hill. There's a couple hag ravens way at the top, and then there's a diving board that if you jump off the diving board, and you know exactly where I'm at.
Yep.
At the top near the diving board, if you go up the hill just a little bit, there's a dwarven horse, like an armor horse. It's just the torso of it. And you find it laying in this like ravine, and you click on it and it says, quest started. Find the leg, left front, right front, rear, right, and head. I looked it up, and it's in this cave that's unmarked right there. So I walked in this cave. Dude, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. First off, it's kind of a normal, real deep, big cave. You do kind of your normal stuff. You fight the big albatross fuckers or whatever there's the worker droids, and then there's the big fuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? There's a handful of those.
The roly-polies.
Well, the roly-polies, and then the real big, the centurions or whatever, the real big ones that are like 15 feet tall.
Yeah. Gollum.
No. But then there's another door that leads deeper in, and it's like a seasons. So there's a fall, winter, summer, all of them.
Oh, this is...
But you walk in, and there's lightning shooting down inside this dwarven ruin. There's like a fucking tornado inside this cave.
Damn.
There's lightning shooting down. I go into the second door, and then I've never seen lava. I've never seen lava in Skyrim.
Oh, neither have I.
I saw it. I'm like, I didn't know I was
modding the game.
I didn't know I was missing this.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed.
I find this dwarven king helmet, which is worth like $10 billion, but they're like, find the rest of it, bitch. And I look around, and there's these themed doors. And so how I figured it out was the dwarven horse outside, you find all of its parts in the autumn door.
Right.
So I walk even further into this cave. I open the autumn door, and it's one of the biggest areas I've ever seen. And there's centurions, those huge fuckers, all over the place. There's these new like albatross things that are walking crossbow things.
The fuck is an albatross?
I don't know. I just made it up.
What?
But my point is, I had to turn around immediately because I can't do it. I'm just not strong enough. I'm being a mage, and I'm doing like borderline no armor. But I was like, first off, I have too much shit on me. I'm weighed down. I just told my fucking companion to go home right before this. So I'm like, fuck, I need to unload all this, get her again, and get ready. But I was looking around. I was like, I can't even imagine.
Do you remember the name of it?
Not off the top of my head.
I just want to open Skyrim and just go play that little cave real quick and then quit.
And of course, I only walked into one of the seasons. There's the summer door, the winter door, and then I'm like, dude, and then I'm sure you do all of those, and it unlocks a main door.
I'm sure.
And there's probably some wicked fucker. Thrawn's back there.
Thrawn is back there. And Thanos.
Just Thanos.
Thranos, dude.
Dude.
Thranos is there.
I didn't know.
I wonder.
I didn't know
how much of when that got added to the game.
Right. That's what.
Because it's so big, you have no idea when you discover this. Oh, it was in the original. You just never went over here.
Right. And that's what I was thinking. That's
crazy.
Because we've got the original guidebook. We've got a newer hardcover guidebook with the
Legendary
newer DLCs and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna look it up. We haven't done it yet, but I was gonna maybe we should look it up in one of those books. And if it's not in any of those, we know it's new, but
newish. Well, it's on. There's like a Elder Scrolls wiki where you can just it has everything from every Elder Scrolls game. You can find it there.
I'm just saying there's reasons I go back to Skyrim, and this is it. Because every time I was doing a quest, I do every time. I always do that
the
Forsworn thing and jump off the fucking cliff.
Yeah.
And whatever. But then I was fucking around back up there. I was like, oh, wait, I forgot to get the Briarheart materials or whatever.
Yep.
And I went back up there. I was like, oh, there's like a path here. And I kept going. And then I found that dwarven horse. I'm like, fuck, what is this?
I gotta think there's people in the Bethesda office that are just like once a month they just make a new little cave and they throw it in the game. They're like, yeah, Skyrim needs an update. Oh, there's a whole new fucking city.
Like a year ago, or maybe a couple years ago, I started a new character and I was heading west from Whiterun. That's where you go, like the very beginning of the game. There's that giant camp out there. There's the tower that the first dragon attacks.
Yeah, on the way to Markarth.
Yeah, right there. There's a mountain all of a sudden. I was like,
in the middle of the plains?
Yeah. If you go directly west from Whiterun, just directly west, you hit a mountain. I'm like, this mountain was never here. It was plains all the way
Yeah.
to like the Forsworn areas where the mountains actually do start.
Right.
But there's
and
a
big river
mountain
and stuff.
right in the middle.
I need to see this mountain.
I was like, I'm climbing this shit. I'm like, where the fuck am I? I looked at it. And I was like, where did this mountain? Like
Todd Howard, dude, he just keeps going.
Thanos created it. Snapped his fingers. All
I
right.
guarantee you, as soon as the first snowflake falls, I'll be
Back into it.
all about it. Yeah. So, well, Mopar never fails to get into the Skyrim vibes.
It's a game. Game
So
of my
I can
life.
dig it. All right.
Good day.
Ahsoka, best show of all time.
Yes.
Make it happen. Thanks for sticking with us. We love you, and get ready for Halloween.
What are you going to be?
I don't know.
I'm going to be you.
I was thinking about Dick Dastardly.
We should try to be
Now
each
that I
other.
got the mustache going.
Dick Dastardly. I'll be Muttley.